back to another episode of Stories and Voices, where we talk about an everyday life of a person with disability. I'm your host for today, Amos and Ella, and I have with me. On today's episode, we'll be talking about an everyday lifestyle of a person with disability. You all know that it has always not been easy for a person with disability to navigate around, to do personal things, and even to get jobs. Today, we'll just be analyzing and be talking about what we go through on a daily basis. So, Ella, what do you think? This is a very interesting story, which I guess so many people want to really know more about it. We are here to put more light into this particular topic because so many people out there don't really know much about this. So, what do you think?
All right, lifestyle for person with disability. To me, what I feel as a lifestyle for person with disability is accessibility, comfort, inclusion, right? So when I'm talking about accessibility, I'm not just talking about maybe getting access to opportunity and the rest of it. That's inclusive. Accessibility to me is access to good routes, access to the right accommodation. When I get to where I'm working, or yes, when I get to where I'm working, I should be able to access my place of work, my gadgets, the gadgets I'm using I should be able to access them. So to me, that is what I see as lifestyle for person with disability. To others, it might mean different things. Each time I go out daily and check, and I compare the way I live, what I need as a necessity to go by each day. I tend to check that I, as a person with disability, do I spend more than the person without disability? I start to be corrected.
It's actually fact because as a person with disability, if you go to school, you have to work twice than someone without a disability. You have to learn times two. Okay, for like person for someone who is visually impaired. Imagine you being in a normal school before and something happens to your eyes, you go blind. You have to go start relearning how to use braille, how to do this, how to do that. You have to start learning how to walk again because you are in a new. You just feel like
and it's
in a
incur
new
cost,
society.
especially
Yeah.
it's incur cost on the family, right?
Yeah.
Because getting braille equipment is not cheap.
Braille is actually so expensive. The gadget is like 25,000 naira.
That's the cheapest. Okay, what about the software used on these jobs?
The just is like 250k.
Wow.
So I think for a visually impaired, everything that concerns them, it's very very so expensive because it's not an everyday thing you just see in every market. You have to go to some certain areas to get that particular thing.
And getting that particular thing, you mean getting it like the original form,
not the
counterfeit or fake form.
one or the abandoned.
Okay, that's for persons with visually impaired. So when you talk about the people with mobility issue, you talk about crutches, talk about wheelchair. Wheelchair is quite expensive.
Yeah, sure. When we talk about the lifestyle, to me, lifestyle should include your everyday activity. It involves the discrimination in the society. It involves, how you are being accepted in the society because it's part of your lifestyle. And for persons with disability, I don't think in this our society it has been juicy for them or for us because it hasn't really. I was on somebody's comments on Instagram, and there was this blind DJ that commented that, "Oh, I'm blind DJ. You guys should." The person just commented that you should. How do you know how to type? How do you know in this 21st century? So it's crazy. Like people don't really know that what you can do. Somebody who is visually impaired, somebody who is a physical challenge, can also do better if you give them the chance. And people really need to understand this in this part.
As a person with disability, when we make a certain demand, people tend to think maybe we are overreacting. Like if I make a demand that, let's say for instance, I am not comfortable using public transportation, owing to the fact that the road network in Lagos is not so favorable for persons with disability. I don't mean any harm to the Lagos government. To the Lagos government, I do not mean any harm. I'm just only making an observation. Okay. So, for instance, now I can't comfortably use the public transport.
When you talk about public transport, what transport?
I'm talking about
because I know the BRT is very.
But you know that one takes time. No, the time to take you to stand at the bus stop, and most times I'm not just the only one. It takes time. You know the queue. Have you seen the queue of people? Have you seen people queuing for BRT? The queue is so lengthy, and if I have to get to a place, if I'm waiting for BRT, I'll definitely get to that place very late. If I'm walking with time, I'll definitely get to that place very late. So if peradventure I don't use any of this transportation, and maybe what I'm getting paid cannot fund the other, let's say an Uber ride. I want to make use of an Uber ride. I will know the cost of an Uber ride from one location to the other. The prices, how high the prices are.
Yeah.
So if I'm working on based on budgets now and I am being paid, let's say I'm being paid the minimum wage, and Uber ride can to order Uber ride to my place of work for like 1 week, I'll be checking how much I am earning, how much I am paying for transportation, and I make a demand that, look, this is what it is costing me. This is what it is costing me as a person with disability. Do you think I'm overreacting by making a demand that my lifestyle is quite expensive? Not because it is what this is not because I am intentional about it, but because I just want something comfortable for myself and also put my security measures in place as well. Because on the road there, the public transport there, you can't guarantee. Even when you are crossing the road, except when we have the last man, the road safety, or even the police that could help maybe helping us to cross the road. But if we don't have them on ground, and you thought maybe you are the road is clear enough for you to cross, and before you know, one oncoming vehicle from nowhere, just and that one is another. So I need to put those things in check. So if I make a demand, do you think I am overreacting?
Well, that's why we are here, because so many people don't really know how much it takes for a person with disability to move around here.
Exactly.
And,
Exactly.
Like for people on wheelchair, they can't use most.
Yeah, we hardly had ramp around, and most transport are not accessible. If you check most public transport, they are so not accessible. There's no ramp that they can pull out from the vehicle, so that the people with wheelchair, imagine a wheelchair user who pay for her seat and also pay for a wheelchair space for a wheelchair on a public transport. And if this person is making demand, you say this person is overreacting.
Well, to me, I feel like we still have a lot to people about because they don't know. You can't blame.
I'm not putting blame on anybody.
They don't know.
I'm not putting blame on anybody.
That's why we are here. That's why this show is actually here to talk about, to create an awareness and to make them know, okay, you can actually do this and that to make life much easier for a person with disability.
So if I make a demand as a person with disability just to live life, to have access and also live life comfortably, I am not overreacting, right?
No, you're not overreacting, but you have to put an explanation in it that, oh, this is why, this is the reason why, this is because they have to know. Because you can't just wake up and okay, I want to get this, I need this, I need that. You have to still,
No, I can't make outrageous demands.
No,
these are things that these are my basic needs.
No, that is you. Just
commuting is my basic need because I go out. As I go into my place of work, I go out, maybe go to visit a friend.
Like I said, that is you. That is you. There are other persons with disability watching this particular show. So you are here to.
I am directly speaking for them because
you need to educate them too, because they have to know. Humility comes first. If you are demanding for something,
I should be begging.
You don't have to come begging.
Like my
You just have to explain it like it's not your right.
Huh?
Hold on, let me explain that.
Okay.
You are being employed to an organization.
Alright.
You can't just go to them and tell them, oh, I need this, I need that. You can't be so demanding. Hold on, let me finish.
Okay.
You can't be so demanding. This is what they can offer. Then you plead to them that, oh, can I get this? Can I get that? You have to put that humility first for them to reconsider, oh, okay. Because they don't know. You are there to even educate them to know that, okay, you need this, you need. Okay, I have a friend. I have friends who are wheelchair and they started working for MTN. They were just going and coming until the very day they almost had an accident, and they had to explain to the company that, oh, this is how we go, this is how we come. The company
They were not aware.
They were not aware.
Challenges they face.
That is why you need
Why
to educate them. That is why you need to tell them first.
Yeah.
So if they did not do anything regarding that, they say, oh, these are bad employers. But since you put your humility first by asking, because when they asked, they provided a taxi for them that picks them every day and return them back home.
On whose
On
account?
company's accounts.
Wow, that's good.
Now,
okay.
MTN is aware. If they want to employ same people in that category, they know that, oh, they need
to make provision
for them.
For community.
Because if they don't know, you can't blame them. That is why you need to tell them first and to educate them. Because, like I said, the person that commented on that boy's comment on IG, that person is a Nigerian, but he lives in America. Even him living in America, he still doesn't know about disability lifestyle. He still doesn't know anything about disability. So as we are doing this program for everyone, we are still educating them, because the majority of people out there don't know they don't even know what disability means. If you go to the street of Lagos now, some of the they will just say,
you only have this impression of a person with disability being beggarly.
Because that's what they see on a daily, on an everyday stuff, yeah.
Okay, what about people with albino? People with albino, there's a limitation. I personally, I don't have issue with my skin. I can definitely come out. I can walk under the sun, right? But people with albino, albinism, they can't come out. They have limitation of time of when they go out and when they come in, because of the ultraviolet ray from the sunlight. So now this makes them, for them to protect themselves, this makes them to devise a means, which is using what's it called now? Sunscreen, right?
Yeah.
This sunscreen is not cheap. True. And what if it's somebody that a person with an albinism who does not have what he or she does for a living, or who funds them, and this person comes out and cry out to the public, I need help, I need to get my sunscreen, and the public looks at this person like it's all the time that they are taking, all the time they are taking.
You know what? In our government system, there's still a lot to do, and I thank God for bodies like the NAB and the JUNAPID, but they still have to do more regarding this. I think to me, I feel like there should be like a body in the federal government, I don't know, that look into the affairs of persons with disability. There should just be like a body that controls, because they all need, I won't lie to you, people that live with disability need monthly stipends. If you go to the Western world,
oh my God, this is the best I've ever have had so far. This is the best.
Our government.
No, say it again so that it be so clear. People can hear it.
People with disability need monthly stipends.
Yes, it is a necessity, for crying out loud. Please, Nigerian government, please listen to us. It is a necessity. We need that monthly stipend. That money will not work for this. A kind of joy it gives.
So that's just it, because why I won't say the monthly stipend is that, federal government announced, give every organization to have one or two persons with disability in their
Yeah,
different.
your organization.
But right now, there are still some companies that don't have that resources to help.
Kata.
You understand? And we have so many PWDs unemployed, which
And majority are graduates.
they are graduates, not majority. Most of them are graduates.
Who can do something if they give them what to do.
If you give them the chance, right? So we're just pleading to the government, to look into these affairs and make life much easier. With a body, with a body that looks into these issues and matters, it will be more easier for person with disability to be more recognized and for them to be able to get that chance they want to do whatever they want to do.
So, when we make demands at times, like you said, if we're making demands, we should make demands with humility, right? But it's our rights, right?
Yeah.
I want to be sure of that. All right, when we make demands like this, are we focusing on a certain set of people, or it's just everybody inclusive? Because when I'm talking about everybody inclusive, I'm talking about both service providers, business owners.
When you are making demands, there are people who own their own company for.
When I go to the market to buy something, I pay the same price every other person pays.
No, that one is for sure. You have to,
So, if I am making demand, my demand should be considered owing to the fact that I pay the same price like every other person, right? If I want to solve that,
let me make this clear to you.
Okay.
Firstly, this is their business, so you can't because.
No, I am not saying anybody should buy to.
You are making me feel like you possess some.
No. That's not how I'm measuring it. No. Each business have rights to make profits. True. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Each business have rights to make profit. So if I am making demand, when I talk about demand, I mean if I make demand of maybe I come to a place to buy something, and it's a supermarket, a mall. I come there to buy something, and there is no ramp. That's
a genuine demand, right?
And there's no ramp for me to be able to slide my wheelchair up, and I'll be looking for who to help me move my wheelchair.
Every building should have they should have a mobility area for people who are on wheelchair, the PWDs, right? People with disability. So that's just it. It has to be done, right? It has to be done.
Alright, in order to make the lifestyle of person with disability easy, I believe everybody needs to be involved. The government, especially in putting into consideration person with disability when constructing roads. Some of the pedestrian bridge, a lot of person with disability, personally I can't cross it. I can't walk through the pedestrian bridge because one, it is quite long. By the time I finish climbing the staircase, I'm exhausted. So, following that route, that pedestrian bridge is already a hurdle, an obstacle for me taking that easy route to get to my destination. Then I'll have to do a merry-go-round. So, government should put into consideration when constructing road, put into consideration persons with disability. Then, supermarkets. I pay for a commodity like every other person does. So my accessibility to a mall should be considered. Maybe a lot of persons are not aware, point taken. A lot of persons don't know that this is a necessity, point taken. But we are saying it out today that as a person with disability, we love to go for shopping in a comfortable environment, and we need to access it without stress. So consider putting a ramp, especially for a wheelchair user. Consider putting a ramp. And if it's a place where we need to make use of the lift without staircase, consider making the lift available and functioning for us. Thank you for joining us in today's podcast. So we have been able to establish a point that the lifestyle of persons with disability is very expensive. So we are calling out the Nigerian government to be able to make monthly stipend available for persons with disability to be able to fund their lifestyle. Now, when we talk about lifestyle or when we talk about basic needs, we're not just talking about luxurious lifestyle. We're not just talking about going for vacation and the rest of them. They are good, yes, but then these are our basic needs. We need access to empowerment. And I'm talking about empowerment. I mean that government should be able to empower persons who will be able to gain vocational skill. Now, when they get this vocational skill, they will be able to take care of themselves and meet up with their basic needs. So we call in the government, not just Nigerian government, the state government, down to the local government chairman, to be able to assist persons with disability to meet up with their basic needs. Going further, we also want to employ the interest of partners and sponsors over this over XFP production for persons with disability, because XFP production is a mouthpiece to persons with disability, because they are giving persons with disability the platform to voice out that which they cannot be able to say, because they were not given the opportunity to. But XFP production is giving that opportunity. We welcome partnership and sponsorship from our government, from stakeholders, from organizations out there who is interested in making change in the life of person with disability.
Like what my co-host has said, we are open for partnership, sponsorship. Please, we really need this program to go to the next level. We are open. Please come. We are open for partnership. Please come and support us with this unique voice we are rendering to the outer world who don't know much about the disability world. And the comment section is still open. You can comment, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and follow us on all our social media platforms at XFP Productions. Thank you.